some of you asked what my process is with recording and filming and all that fun stuff. So let's go through it real quick. And now there's a lawnmower behind me. Okay, I'll talk real quick like this. And as soon as the lawnmower stops, the airplane's gonna fly over. Okay, so I'm filming on a Canon R5C. That's what I have right here. Started off on my iPhone with some moment lenses, and then I was on a Canon M50 because I like the optics a little bit better. And then I moved to a Canon EOS R, and now the R5C gives me 4K, 8K if I really wanted it, but I don't do 8K, but 4K. Has some great tools for making sure I have good exposure, waveform, vector scope, all that fun stuff, and also does stills, so it lets me have a hybrid camera. So there's the camera. I'm using a Rode Video NTG as my microphone that's on camera, and then I also have the Rode Wireless Go, and I have it kind of with the split, so I do left channel is the shotgun mic, right channel is the lapel mic, and usually I'll have it hidden inside my shirt with some can't remember what it's called, undercover or whatever it is, sticks to the shirt so you don't really see it, so it looks a little bit neater. For my drone shots, some of those drone shots that I have a DJI Mini 2, and that thing's a lot of fun. It's a blast to fly, and so I'll fly that around. It takes a lot of practice to get the shot that you want, and just to be spatially aware, what your limits are, what its limits are, and so but some amazing photos and video that I've gotten from that. Then I also have some cameras, some GoPro cameras, a GoPro Hero 7 Black and the GoPro Hero 5 Session, which is the little square one, which they didn't use very often, or they didn't have for very long. Lighting is important. I have a bunch of reflectors. I have some relatively cheap lights that I got off of Amazon that help me control the light, because that's all that video is just moving pictures, and lighting is key. So when I go into the process, before I get to that day, I think about what it is I want to shoot, what it is that I'm going to be doing, what my tasks are, and how I'm going to set up those shots, from my open and intro hook to my little travel montage, if I have one, to what the tasks are, the major tasks are for that day, and how I will set up my camera, my lights, and my shot, and how I want it to look. Not always 100% effective or executing the vision that I have, but I get close. Again, I still have a lot to learn about it. So I go through that, I think about it, I shoot it. Usually it makes the task go a little bit longer than it normally would if you're not doing that. And then what? And then I'll take my footage, unload it onto my MacBook Pro M1 chip. I'll also copy it to an external hard drive for safety, and then I will edit on Premiere Pro. I like the Adobe suite. I have really gotten used to it. It's Premiere Pro, After Effects, and the audio one, and Adobe Audition. So those three together are my video editing side, and I'll take all my footage, look at it, and then construct a story, because that's really what I'm trying to do, is tell a story about what it is that I'm doing. So, construct the story, put that together, edit it, find some good music. I use a service called Epidemic Sound, as well as a service called Audio, AUDIIO, and because both of those are licensed, I can use them on YouTube without getting copyright strikes or getting monetization claims. So I'm able to make a couple of dollars to help try to pay for some of this equipment. Then so I will edit everything together, try to create the story arc, and then I'll do color correction. This is what it looks like when I shoot it. It is very flat, it is very gray, low contrast, but it allows me to have more control over my highlights and over my shadows. I will put a transform LUT on there, a color space transform, and then I will put in some corrections and then a final look LUT on top of that to give it the coloring that I want it to. Then I will export. Usually that takes anywhere from 5 minutes to 2 hours, depending on how complex the video is, how much effects I have, what other layers that I have, sound effects. And then from that point, I will upload it to YouTube at least a day before I release it to allow YouTube to do its not cross-contamination, where it encodes it for different formats, different bit rates. And then by the time it's ready to go for release, I have a 4K version, a 1080 version, all that YouTube automatically creates. Creating a thumbnail that's visually interesting, tells a bit of the story, but kind of grabs your attention. I write a title, which is not clickbait, but is kind of clickbait-y. Something that looks interesting. If there's a description that I need to put in there, put in the description, tags, location sometimes, my monetization options, and then the end screen where it has the suggested videos. And then I set a schedule, okay, release at this date at this time. And then away it goes. And then when it releases, I just interact with comments after that and start planning for the next video. It's a lot. It's a big process, and I'm still learning on how to do it and how to try to make it efficient and yet still tell a good story that's educational and entertaining, and yeah, that's my process.